Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. जय गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जना यमुनतीरावनचारी यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तनम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्ठिकी। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमपदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरतुषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, text, Canto 6, Chapter 19, text number 5. The chapter's title is Performing the Pumsa Vana Ritualistic Ceremony. So we'll recite the which one to show? Yeah. Yatha tvam kripaya bhutya tejasa mahima jasa jushtaisha gunai sarvais tatosi bhagavan prabhu. Yatha tvam kripaya bhutya tejasa mahima jasa jushtaisha gunai sarvais tatosi bhagavan prabhu. Yatha tvam kripaya bhutya tejasa mahima jasa jushtaisha gunai sarvais tatosi bhagavan prabhu. Vaishnavis? Word to word and translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Word to word meaning. Yatha, as. Tvam, you. Kripaya, with mercy. Bhutya, with opulences. Tejasa, with prowess. Mahima ojasa, with glory and strength. Jushtaha, endowed. Isha, O my Lord. Gunai, with transcendental qualities. Sarvai, all. Tataha, therefore. Asi, you are. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhu, the Master. Translation. O my Lord, because you are endowed with causeless mercy, all opulences, all prowess, and all glory, strength, and transcendental qualities, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of everyone. Purport. In this verse, the words Tatosi Bhagavan Prabhu mean, therefore, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of everyone. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is endowed with all six opulences in full, and moreover, He is extremely kind to His devotee. Although He is full in Himself, He nonetheless wants all the living entities to surrender unto Him so that they may engage in His service. Thus He becomes satisfied. Although He is full in Himself, He nonetheless becomes pleased when His devotee offers Him Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, a leaf, flower, fruit, or water in devotion. Sometimes the Lord, as the child of Mother Yashoda, requests his devotee for some food, as if he were very hungry. Sometimes he tells his devotee in a dream that his temple and his garden are now very old, and that he cannot enjoy them very nicely. Thus he requests the devotee to repair them. Sometimes he is buried under the earth, sometimes he is buried in the earth, and as if unable to come out himself, he requests his devotee to rescue him. Sometimes he requests his devotee to preach his glories all over the world, although he alone is quite competent to perform this task. Even though the Supreme Personality of Godhead is endowed with all possessions and is self-sufficient, he depends on his devotees. Therefore, the relationship of the Lord with his devotees is extremely confidential. Only the devotee can perceive how the Lord, although full in himself, depends on his devotee for some particular work. This is explained in the Bhagavad Gita 11:33, where the Lord tells Arjun, Nimitta matram bhavasavvyasachin. O Arjun, merely be an instrument in the fight. Lord Krishna had the competence to win the battle of Kurukshetra, but nonetheless he induced his devotee Arjun to fight and become the cause of victory. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was quite competent enough to spread his name and mission all over the world, but still he depended upon his devotee to do his work, to this work. Considering all these points, the most important aspect of the Supreme Lord's self-sufficiency is that he depends on his devotees. This is called his causeless mercy. The devotee who has perceived this causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by realization can understand the master and the servant. Hare Krishna. I seek the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas, especially His Grace Vamsivardhan Prabhu, His Grace Sundarsham Prabhu, His Grace Sarvalakshan Prabhu, and many other senior Vaishnavas, Gopalchan Prabhu, and many others, and all many highly devotees, Revati Prabhu, and I know that Radha Gopinath Prabhu, His Grace Radha Gopinath Prabhu is hearing from, so he told me that I'll hear from there, so Prabhuji and many other Vaishnavas all over, across, who are online, that I can speak something. This is a very mysterious and esoteric purport actually. I was trying to understand the purport from different personalities, but they all share that this is a very mysterious purport. So I'll tell what is the mystery about it, but it's surely something that I am not qualified to speak on. It's sharing the most beautiful, intimate understanding of Lord's heart towards his devotees. So I seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis that I can speak something as per my level of realization and according to the parampara, to please the Lordships, please all of the Vaishnavas, and also purify my own heart. Hare Krishna. So the mysterious part is, if you read this line, the most important aspect of the Supreme Lord's self-sufficiency is that he depends on his devotees. So usually, if we say someone is self-sufficient, that means he does not need anyone. So how can self-sufficiency mean that he should depend? And that even becomes his most important aspect of the self-sufficiency. So His Holiness Sachidananda Swami Maharaj told the mystery in his way. He said he feels that what Prabhupada is saying is basically, Lord is so happy with the devotee that he wants to give him the credit. Like just before that, Prabhupada writes that he wanted to give credit to Arjun for fighting, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to give credit to Prabhupada for preaching the message. So the Lord is very self-sufficient. That means he does not want the credit also for doing the work. He empowers another devotee and lets him take the credit. Yasholabhaswa, you take the credit. So of course, the mystery is very sweet and deep, and if you want to fully relish the mystery of this purport, I would recommend that you read this one book by His Holiness Shivram Maharaj, Sadhava Hidaya Mayam, which is an intoxicating book of feelings of Lord for his devotees. So how Lord feels for his devotees is very beautifully revealed. I will try to share some parts of it in this session. I was thinking what to do exactly. Should I read the whole book with you? But the whole book is too big. I read the whole book yesterday again, but it was so intoxicating, but I can't read the whole book. But it is very nice. So if you see how Krishna appears in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita the first time, Lord Krishna is the hero of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So usually in a movie, when the hero has to be introduced, he's introduced not like just some side character, Somehow he just walked in. No. So it is like the camera will slowly, it goes in some slow motion, and then the hero is coming tap, 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 and then the video will go from the feet towards the face, and then gradually he is revealed, So he's the most important person of the movie, so he should be revealed in a very graphic, in a very, what do we say, in a dramatic way. Yeah. So Krishna, when he wants to reveal himself in the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, his dramatic way, the way he wants to be known, in both in the Bhagavad Gita first chapter, he is revealed as, when he is coming, Sena Ubayo Madhyar, you do something, you take my chariot in the Achyuta, please take the chariot in the middle of the army. So that is his introduction. That he is Achyuta because he never fails to fulfill the orders of his devotees. He is a servant to his devotees. And the same scene is going on in Srimad Bhagavatam first canto. Actually, there is a lot of discussions on the Supreme Lord, but Krishna in person, when he gets into the dramas and in Srimad Bhagavatam, so it is 7th chapter where he is again chariot driver of Arjun when Ashwatthama is chased. So Krishna loves to be known as Parsarthi. Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra Bhagwan ki jai. Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maiya ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. So this is the nature of the Lord. He wants to be known as a servant of his devotees. This is his heart. Yadyapi Ishvara tumi parama swatantra tathapi swabhave hoye prema paratantra. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, this beautiful verse comes where it says that Yadyapi Ishvara tumi parama swatantra. You are supremely independent, swarat. But tathapi swabhave hoye. This is your own sweet nature that you are paratantra. You are what do we call it? Captivated, or you are subordinate to the love of your devotees. So in the 6 characteristics of pure devotion service, the characteristic of Shri Krishna Akarshani is there. So that is exactly sharing this particular one. And also in the qualities of Krishna, nectar of devotion, it describes one as controlled by devotees, controlled by love of his devotees. So I'll just read a little of that, then we'll go back into the discussion here. So Shri Krishna Akarshani means that bhakti even attracts Lord Shri Krishna. Prema bhakti is so powerful that it attracts and controls even the all-attractive supreme controller Shri Krishna. We are controlled by attachments. We become attached to that which gives us pleasure. Only self-satisfied people can remain detached and independent. So the Lord is self-satisfied. So if now Lord is self-satisfied, then what is he getting controlled by? So Atmaram, self-satisfied, is Atmaram. But he is attracted to his own internal pleasure potency, Hladini Shakti. Thus he becomes attached to and controlled by Hladini Shakti. The essence of Hladini Shakti is the love of Godhead, Prema. Therefore one who has Prema can attract and control Krishna. And the references given by Srila Rupa Goswami there is, one is from the discussion in the 11th canto by Krishna to Uddhava. I'll just show you that one. Yeah. More. Reading? Okay. It's fine, no? Not much to show. Na sadhyati mam yogo, na sankyam dharma uddhava, na swadhyaya tapastyago, yatha bhaktir mamorjita. So he says, my dear Uddhava, the unalloyed devotion service rendered to me by my devotees brings me under their control. I cannot be thus controlled by those engaged in mystic yoga, Sankhya philosophy, pious work, Vedic study, austerity, or renunciation. So he cannot be controlled by anything else. In fact, Lord is Atmaram, how can someone control him? But then he, by his own sweet will, he is disposed in his nature to his devotees in such a way. So there are many verses which we can discuss, like in the 5th canto it comes, Rajan Patir Guru Valam Bhavatam Yadunam Daivam Priya Kulapati Kvachaking Karova Astveva Manga Bhagavan Bhajatam Mukundo Muktim Dadati Karhichit Smana Bhakti Yogam. My dear Sukdev Goswami continued, my dear king, the supreme person Mukunda is actually the maintainer of all the members of the Pandava and Yadu dynasties. He is your spiritual master, worshipable deity, friend, and the director of your activities. To say nothing of this, he sometimes serves your family as a messenger or servant. This means he worked just as ordinary servants do. Those engaged in getting Lord's favor attain liberation from the Lord very easily, but it does not very easily give the opportunity to render direct service unto him. Krishna is grateful to his devotees and this is different. So, because Lord becomes captivated, he becomes subordinate to the love. If he offers love, that means he becomes a prisoner of that love. So, after that, he has given himself. So, love is the rarest, love of Godhead is the rarest commodity that Krishna will ever offer to someone. In fact, he does not offer himself. Only his devotees can offer it. So, this is a very important principle in bhakti, that only Vaishnavas can award us bhakti. Bhakti sanjayate bhakti. So, if you see the pastimes which Prabhupada is mentioning here in the purport, actually this purport which Srila Prabhupada has taken is directly Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's purport. So, very kind of full of rasa, that he engages the devotee although he is fully satisfied himself. So, he says 4 or 5 examples he shares. First is, he shares about Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. So, in that verse, there is one word which is repeated twice. That is bhakti. Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati Tadaham Bhakti Rupa Haritam Ashnami Prayatatmana. So, he is not hungry for patta or pushpa. Anyway, these items are not something that can fulfill the hunger, Even if we are offered, like imagine we have now after this prasadam and one patta is offered, I think we will get some, the server will get some curses in return. What's this? But if you offer it like an extra item, it's okay. But Lord is satisfied with patra. When Draupadi was in a crisis, when Durvasa and company had come with 10,000 disciples, Durvasa Muni has come and they are feeling how to satisfy them, because Akshay Patra is already, Draupadi is honored. So after that, she calls out to Krishna in desperate need, and Krishna comes and says, I am hungry. Hey, I am hungry means now, Krishna, already I was in crisis, now you one more, how to give you anything? He said, don't worry, just give me that vessel. And there was a little shark, and he just honored that, and Hari bol. He was satisfied, and that satisfied all the Durvasa and company also. In fact, they were just taking bath, and they from there only ran away. When Bhima said, now come for feast, there was no feast in the home, but he said, come. And Durvasa Muni already had an experience with Amrish, that if you offend a pure devotee of the Lord, you have to go for a Brahman, Brahmite Kono Bhagya, he has to do Brahman. So better not offend the Vaishnavas like Pandavas, they are very dear to the Lord. So he just ran away from there with all because he was already full in the stomach. Now I can't honor the feast they must have cooked for us, so better go away. So Lord is satisfied with patta also. And pushpam, actually ashnami is mentioned in that verse. Ashnami means he eats. Now you can eat patram, you can eat phala, and toyam is water. Am is all khobe, maybe in Bangla you can eat also water. And so eating is possible. But then what about pushpa? You don't eat pushpa, but the acharyas comment that in ecstasy Krishna eats the pushpa also. And we hear pastimes also where, like when Krishna was invited by Duryodhan for Chappan Bhog, but he did not go there because it was all just a manipulative politics, And then instead he goes to Vidura's home, and there Vidura's wife, she receives him, but she's just mesmerized that how can Lord come to my home? And then she wants to feed him something. So there are only bananas. Now bananas is something that, in Ekadashi, sometimes we, so bananas are, so then she gets bananas and then she's peeling the banana, and she's so much mesmerized by the love for the Lord that she peels the banana, throws the banana and gives him the peel, and he honors the peel. Even if, I don't know, maybe some of you are very deeply in love personalities, but at least I would, even if the most loving personalities who I If they offer me a banana peel, I will have to think whether I will honor it or I will tell Prabhu, I think you are giving me the banana peel. So how much it must be that Lord wants to experience that love only. He is not hungry for anything. Rather, he can take something awkward also because it is given with love. So he is ready to eat the jhuta bear of Shabari. So his heart is only hungry for love. In fact, he's Atmaram. That is why only something which is offered with love can be, he will take up. Because if someone is already full in stomach and you give him one more item, then he say, "Bas, you have already honored a big feast." I think Wednesday we have some feast also. No? So you honored a feast, and after that someone comes and gives you a banana peel. So you will say, "Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, I will throw it in the dustbin." No. But the Lord is self-satisfied. He is always full. At the same time, if someone offers us something after that full stomach also, that this is specially made for you only, this is your favorite item, then some space is created in the heart, if not in the stomach. So that's the mood of the Lord, always hungry for love. He's Prem Pujari, he is hungry for love. In the pastime which comes further, sometimes the Lord, as a child of Mother Yashoda, requests his devotee for some food, as if he were very hungry. So we know the Damodar Leela, we regularly in the Kartik month, we sing this song. So it's a very beautiful song, the Damodar Ashtakam song, and we relish these qualities of the Lord, where he is completely aptakama, but now he is hungry for love of Yashoda Maya. He gets up seeing that Mother Yashoda has gotten up without him. He is very angry, and then he sees that she has started churning butter. So he wants to stop, so he holds the churning rod and says, "First your duty is to feed me." And then Mother Yashoda is very happy. So Krishna on his own just climbs up on the thighs of Mother Yashoda and himself puts his divine mouth into the breast of his mother and starts drinking milk. And Lord Krishna is unlimited. He can drink unlimitedly. And Mother Yashoda's love for Lord is also unlimited. So the mother's milk is actually out of love for the child. So both of them are unlimited in their capacity to experience and express love. So it will just go on for infinite time. And if Krishna takes all this milk from Mother Yashoda, so the milk on the Padma Gandha cow's milk, which was boiling on the stove, was feeling, what is the use of my life now? So, and Mother Yashoda has very carefully brought that Padma Gandha cow milk, because I should feed the best milk to my dear child Krishna. So when the milk Prabhu wants to commit suicide by jumping into the whatever, it was not gas, I think it was gas is modern way of trying to cook, chula so into the fire. So then Mother Yashoda leaves Krishna and runs towards the milk, so to save the milk. And Lord Krishna becomes very angry, because he is very possessive lover in that way. He loves to he is hungry for the love of mother. So he bites his teeth, that how could you leave me? And he breaks the mortar, and then he breaks the pot, and then butter is spilt over. So the pastime is further going ahead, but he is hungry for Mother Yashoda's love. He cries when Mother Yashoda binds. In fact, he gets bound. Mother Yashoda cannot bind, but he gets bound. So His Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj was telling one lecture, we hear this pastime, and every day when in the Damodar month, we offer the lamp, and the Lord is bound. Now imagine your master is bound, and you go to meet him. So what is the first thing you have to do? You untie him. But we worship. You remain bound. Acha lag rahe ho Bhagwan. As you know. So amazing. We worship this only, that you are actually bound by the love of Mother Yashoda. So you are. This itself is what we relish. So in another lecture, when His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj was giving lecture, so he was telling, actually he is giving a series of lectures, And almost the last day, now the last day has come, and the last day he was not able to complete the pastime. He is only able to go up till Kuvera and all that, but Kuvera's sons. And then he tells that devotees are requesting that I should complete the pastime. तो वो बोले हम भी सोच रहे हैं कि भगवान को 1 साल के लिए बंदा नहीं रहने देना चाहिए, खोल देना चाहिए क्योंकि अगले साल चालू होगा ना, तो 1 साल के लिए बंदे ही रहेंगे, भगवान को खोल देना चाहिए. तो हाउ जस्ट ही इज एक्चुअली इनटू द पास्ट टाइम, ही इज जस्ट रेलिशिंग इट, लाइक भगवान को बांध दिया है, अभी बांध के वो कुएं नलकोर मणिग्रीव को भी पार कर दिया, लेकिन भगवान बंदे ही हुए हैं, तो पार तो पूरा खोल देना चाहिए, भगवान उधर तक लेके जाएंगे लीला को. तो एक्चुअली दोज हु आर रसिका भक्तस, they enter the pastime, they are relishing the pastime, and the Lord relishes their devotion as they recite the pastime. So this is the Lord is bound by the love of his devotees. And then another pastime which is mentioned here, he tells his devotee in a dream that his temple and his garden are now very old, and then he cannot enjoy them very nicely. He requests the devotee to repair them. So this, yesterday I spent 1.5 or 2 hours in trying to find this pastime, but with the help of many devotees also I could not find the pastime, so I think he remained unrevealed to me. So maybe you all know some pastime, you can tell also. Anyone knows this pastime? Rajapur Jagannath, but Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur will not quote Rajapur Jagannath. So which is this pastime we are not knowing. And in Rajapur Jagannath, yes, he came to the dream of Jagdish Ghosh, Jagdish Ganguly. Yeah, Jagdish Ganguly made the deity. He came in the dream that you can get the wood and all that. But at the same time, this pastime says that his temple and his garden is destroyed. So yeah, in that later there's a flower growing, a blue flower. I read that whole pastime yesterday because I was thinking kuch to mil jaye, no? But then anyway, of course that pastime is beautiful, where Lord Jagannath is again very hungry to be again worshipped. And then it is mentioned that after some time, again there was no qualified person, so he covered his pastimes. And again he manifests his pastimes when he finds the right devotee. So that comes, if you see the next pastime which is mentioned here, that sometimes he is buried in the earth, and as if unable to come out himself, he requests his devotee to rescue him. So this pastime, I believe, Madhavendra pastime, most of us came to Madhavendra only. We were trying to do some discussion that which pastime you think about it. So in the Madhavendra pastime, Krishna in the dream comes to Madhavendra and says some beautiful words. Bahudina tomar pata kari nirikshana Kabe asi madhava ama karibe sevana. For many days I have been observing you. Bahudina tomar pata kari nirikshana. And I have been wondering, when will Madhavendra Puri come here to serve me? So by seeing the devotion of a great Vaishnava, the Lord becomes hungry that I want to get service from this devotee, because that service becomes a medium of experiencing that love. So in the Param Pujya Shivaram Maharaj's book, he mentions that Lord loves to be loved. Lord loves to be loved. In fact, all of us, we love to be loved. We all love to love. So why not the Rasaraj, Rasa Vigraha personality? Why not he would like to be loved? So he says, when will he come and serve me? Tomar prema vashe kari seva angikara darshana diya nistariba sakal samsara. I have accepted your service due to your ecstatic love for me. Thus I shall appear, and by my audience all fallen souls will be delivered. So he is saying, Tomar prema vashe. So this is prema vashyata or bhakta vashyata, because of actually Lord is the supreme and the devotee is always subordinate. But who is supreme actually in the spiritual world is prema. The Lord and the devotee both become orchestrated by prema. And they are it is said, compact love, they are united in love. And the Lord wants to taste the bhakti of the devotee, and the devotee wants to, he never feels that I have done enough. So there is a competition between the Lord and the devotee. Huda Hudi is mentioned in the 4th chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita. And in the middle of this divine exchange between the transcendental exchange of love between the Lord and the devotee, Lord and the transcendental devotee, the conditioned souls get delivered. So, for example, Srila Prabhupada, the next pastime which is mentioned here is that sometimes the Lord requests his devotee to preach his glories all over the world, although he alone is quite competent to perform this task. So the Lord can preach his message. Prabhupada writes in this Madhavendra section only that, see, the Krishna consciousness movement has spread all over the world within a very short time, within 5 years. And mundane people are very much astonished at this. However, by the grace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we understand that everything is possible by the grace of Krishna. Why does Krishna have to take 5 years? In 5 days, he can spread his name and fame all over the world like wildfire. So those who have faith in and devotion to Krishna can understand that these things happen so wonderfully by the grace of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the context here, purport is mentioned is in the context of that Eka dine rudyoge aiche mahotsava kaila Gopala prabhave haya anye na janila. So wonderful festival and installation of Shri Gopalji was arranged in one day. Certainly all this was accomplished by the potency of Gopal. So Gopala prabhave. No one but a devotee can understand this. So it is mentioned in one place in Chaitanya Charitamrita that the Lord takes greater pleasure when the parampara takes greater pleasure when their successors do more than what they have done. They want to empower the successors. So this comes in the context where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that I cannot deliver Bengal. Nityananda, you go. You go and do that. So of course Nityananda will do by the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only. And still the Lord wants him to do something which he cannot also do, apparently. So he is saying that I cannot do this. Similarly, Lord Chaitanya said that Mara Senapati Bhakta will come and deliver the whole world. So once Srila Prabhupada was asked by some disciple that, about Bhakti Vinod Thakur, why he did not preach all over the world. He said he left it for me. He left it for me. So he can do everything. Every Acharya in the Parampara done in the Gaudiya Vaishnava line, he could have, Baldev Vidya Bhushan, Vishnu Chakra Thakur, if they were given that role. And they could have done it, but they also want to give credit to the future generations. And of course, Srila Prabhupada is empowered personality, the Senapati Bhakta. And he is doing what Acharyas always longed for. And in fact, the Acharyas say, when will someone come who will make technology by which we can manifest many, many books rather than handwritten books and all. So sometimes the Acharya's desire is the basis of the future generations manifesting that through their actions. But we should always know that we are instrument. As Prabhupada writes in this purport right now what we are studying, that only the devotee can perceive how the Lord, although full in himself, depends on his devotee for some particular work. And then he mentions about Arjun, that he had to become only a nimitta matram, an instrument. So the instrument, as yesterday our Sham Gopal Prabhu was sharing, that it's not like a dead instrument, it's a live instrument, he has his free will. But the Lord is waiting for a devotee who has developed the right consciousness. That jiva he can fully use as an instrument. One who has fully surrendered himself to the will of the Lord and he has a strong desire to please the Lord, then the Lord makes him an instrument to do something wonderful. And he empowers him and he wants him to take the credit. Yasholabhasva. So that way the Lord actually is always self-satisfied and also eager to glorify his devotees in the world. So there are some more sections from Nectar of Devotion. One more quality of Krishna towards his devotees is very enriching in this regard, which is grateful. So he says, any person who is conscious of his friend's beneficent activities and never forgets his service is called grateful. In the Mahabharata, Krishna says, when I was away from Draupadi, she cried the words, Hey Govinda, this call for me has put me in a debt, and that indebtedness is gradually increasing in my heart. So With every passing moment, Krishna is feeling more grateful for that one calling by Draupadi. So, when I was reading this His Holiness Shivaram Maharaj's book, Sadhava Hridayamayam, in that he elaborately discusses, he tells, Durvasa asks this question. It's like a kind of a play between Lord Vishnu and Durvasa primarily, where between the lines which Lord Krishna and Lord Vishnu and Durvasa have spoken, which are explicitly revealed in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are more divine movements and emotions going on. So there Durvasa is saying that, Lord, you are the supreme, now you deliver me from Sudarshan Chakra. So he says, see, just like Shiva and Brahmaji told that they are subservient to me, so they cannot do. I am also bound, I cannot help you. Really? You are subordinate to whom? I am subordinate to my devotees' desire. I am captured in their heart. In fact, I have given my heart to them. So, whatever they desire, if their heart is compassionate on you, then my heart will become compassionate on you. Otherwise, I cannot have separate compassion. So, I do feel sympathy for you, but sorry, I can't do anything. This Sudarshan Chakra, I can't stop him. You have to go back to Amrish only. And there is a very beautiful long dialogue, but I'll share some important points. There, once Durvasa is asking, but why so much you are attracted to your devotee only, what have they done? What is special about their devotional service? What is making you so much? So, Lord is telling beautifully, I'll share now. Yeah. See, this is the verse. Okay, you can see. Yeah. ना हम आत्मानम आशा से मद भक्तिर साधु बिरबिना श्रियम चात्यंतिकीम ब्रह्मन येषाम गतिर अहम परा. O best of the Brahmanas, without saintly persons for whom I am the only destination, I do not desire to enjoy my transcendent bliss and my supreme opulence. So, in the commentary, in the Prabhupada purport also it comes, and here he has given more elaborately, so I'll just read from here. So, here he says that actually I taste bliss, but there are three types of bliss that the Lord tastes. He says, see here, the Lord continued, do you want to know why I get attracted? Because the bliss I taste from my own nature is not as attractive to me as the bliss I taste from my devotees. What is that bliss which enhances and thus surpasses the bliss of your own self, of your Sarupa? O illustrious Brahmana, although devotees and I both possess forms of transcendence, their devotion to me is enriched with the unique spiritual attribute of mercy. This mercy is the essence of my potency of cognizance, Chit Shakti, and so it not only attracts me, but it gives bliss to myself. Note this well. Further he says at one point, here he is saying three types of bliss. The bliss I derive from my internal potency is of two types. The bliss derived from my mind. See, first he says I experience two kinds of bliss. The bliss from my own nature and the bliss from my internal potency. And the bliss that I derive from internal potency is two types. Bliss derived from my mind or disposition, and the bliss derived from my powers. And the bliss I derive from my disposition is dependent on the extensive pleasure I experience from the affection of my devotees. So what does it mean? See, there is internal potency like Srimati Radharani. So that is internal potency. But then he is saying that the bliss I derive from my disposition is dependent on the extensive pleasure I experience from the affection of my devotees. The bliss I derive from my powers is pleasure arranged for me by the goddess of fortune, as well as the pleasure I derive from consorting with her personally. So that is my internal potency. He tells later that they will serve and they have unswerving devotion. But the devotees who are struggling, in fact they may be new devotees also, but they are new devotees, but they are giving their whole life to preach the message of Godhead. They are merciful to the conditioned soul. That is making me very touched. And they are selfless. So he gives the example of Prahlad. Actually, as he is speaking the example of Prahlad, he starts crying tears. And he says, actually, Durvasa is thinking that he's a new devotee. He did not get the darshan of the Lord also. He's saying, I am not getting darshan. He said, you fool. Actually, Prahlad is always seeing me. But when he sees me, he thinks that actually, how can I see the Lord? In humility, he feels that maybe I am dreaming actually. I am not seeing the Lord. But all the time, Prahlad is seeing me. And what did he ask when I appeared before him? He asked for delivering his own father. I wanted to give him a benediction, but he just asked for his father's deliverance. Not only that, he said that I will stay here in this material world to deliver all the conditioned souls who are still not coming to your lotus feet. So this kind of a mercy potency that they carry, that is very attractive. See, he says, all the mercy in the heart of devotees is the same as my mercy. It is also different. It is also their mercy. The difference in the two is that my mercy follows the mercy of my devotees. Thus, those who would not have been eligible for my mercy directly receive that same mercy through the mercy of my devotees. So those who are, see, the Lord is very merciful, but his direct mercy is available to his pure devotees. But the pure devotees are very merciful to conditioned souls also. Before this, there is a very poetic way of sharing it. Shivaram Maharaj writes that I am the shelter of mercy potency Kripa Shakti, yet those who do not surrender to me do not become the object of my grace. However, within the nectarian waters of mature devotion that splash the lakeshore of devotees' hearts grow the golden lotuses of mercy. Pure devotees collect the honey of devotion dripping from those lotuses and offer it as a nectarian beverage to innocents who are not yet surrendered to me. Means, as the devotees relish love of the Lord, their hearts feel that natural compassion. Why not others also get to relish this nectar? And they want to share that nectar. And this is specially available only to devotees because they are relishing the qualities of the Lord and they are wanting to share what they are relishing as the qualities of the Lord with others. The Lord cannot feel relish of his own qualities. Later he says, because of that only I come later as Gaura. I will come as Gaura because I want to relish what actually is in me that the devotees are relishing. So this is why the devotee's mercy is even more than the Lord. And the Lord become very touched by the devotee's mercy, merciful nature. Because great devotees help to increase my spiritual family in this way, I am eternally in their debt. I cannot repay them. Na pareyam. And then he further says that actually I am unlimited in my desire to have pleasure. And they increase the family of my devotees by preaching. So that is why I am very touched by that devotion. So seeing this kind of, actually if you read this whole book, after that we will only pay obeisances, more and more prostrate obeisances to Srila Prabhupada. How dear he must be to Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Krishna, because here he is expressing that who become very dear devotee is the one who takes all the ordeals to preach his message and who is very selfless. He tells many aspects of selflessness. They are ready to take pain, like he gives the example of gopis taking headache, removing the headache of Krishna by taking, giving the dust, going to hell, even ready to go to hell. So like that, a devotee is of the devotee's qualities of pure devotion, where there is no tinge of selfishness, and there is always a eagerness to selflessly serve, sacrifice oneself to bring more souls to Krishna, to give more pleasure to Krishna. That attracts the Lord and makes the Lord captivated in their heart. Aham bhakta paradino sadhava hridayo mayam. So these verses are actually very beautifully brought out in this book. And if you read this book, you will also become a little intoxicated after that. So this, I can't share fully this verse. This is, so time is 9:05, I think 5 minutes for questions also. So the point here further, which he mentions, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was quite competent enough to spread his name, but still he depended on his devotee to do his work. So Prabhupada in a very humble way is mentioning his devotee to do the work, but actually Prabhupada did the work. So a pure devotee of the Lord always knows that it is the desire of the Lord. Like in the, which is that song? How did I will recite the line which he says, Tara icha balavan paschatete tara thana than. So he's saying, what does it begin with? Krishna, that Krishna tava, yeah, that one. Krishna tava, Krishna tave, sorry. So in that verse, he says, Tara Ichha Balwan. Whose Ichha? Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Your Ichha is so Balwan that, Paschatya de Than Than, and all over Gauranga's name will be chanted. So he is seeing himself only as an instrument of his spiritual master's desires. So this is the consciousness of a very pure devotee, and such a devotee only becomes a full instrument of the Lord, and the Lord can do anything with that devotee, and the devotee can feel that delight in the master-servant relationship. So His Holiness Satchidananda Swami Maharaj was mentioning that if you love someone and he comes to you and says, can you do this for me? So you feel like, I can do something for you. So you run to do something. So because the pure devotee, he knows that the Lord does not need me, I am insignificant, but he loves the Lord, and if the Lord comes and says, please can you do this for me? It's more endearing that Lord is asking me to do something. So that makes the devotee even more enlivened in the rasa and wants to do every bit of his endeavor to make it happen. So Lord Ram could have crossed over the oceans without the Vanaras, or Lord Krishna could have finished Kurukshetra fellows, one of the Kaurava fellows, without Arjuna and others. But they engage in the service. One chakra is enough to finish the whole Kaurava army. So the servant always feels indebted to get an opportunity to serve and experience the love of his master. And the master also becomes indebted, and he feels that I want to now serve the devotee. So this divine relationship of master and servant in the spiritual world is the greatest relish which the South Indian Brahmana was getting. And once His Holiness Loknath Maharaj was giving class, and one devotee asked, Maharaj, I feel Bhagavad Gita is very all knowledge, only theory and all. It's not so rasik, it's not giving, if you want to have rasa, then we have to go to Bhagavatam. Maharaj said, आप शायद सही हो, लेकिन ये दक्षिण भारत के जो ब्राह्मण थे उनका तो ऐसा विचार नहीं था, वो तो रो रहे थे भगवत गीता पढ़ते हुए, आपका विचार कुछ अलग लग रहा है. बहुत प्रेम से महाराज ने उसको समझा दिया कि देखो कुछ तो पढ़ने में तुम्हारी कमी हुई है अभी. So actually in the past time of South Indian Brahmana, seeing this mood of Lord that he wants to serve his devotee, the devotee is crying tears that how can Lord take such a position. So the servant always knows he is the servant, and at the same time he gets a great relish seeing the master's subservience, or sometimes wanting his service, needing his service. He needs me. So this kind of divine relationship is exchanged between the Lord and his divine devotees. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Okay, 3 minutes are there. I have kept time for the pleasure of some Vaishnavas. Yes, Prabhu.
I hope some Vaishnavas you want to please.
Ajay Samarpan Gopru is happy if someone asks question. It's not so much about him asking question. So if you ask question, he will be pleased.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for beautiful explanation of the exchange of Lord with the devotees. And you shared that how the Lord loves his devotees when and his mercies follows the mercy of the devotee basically. And he told about how much Lord would have loved Srila Prabhupada. So can you please explain you were explaining the between so logically किस तरीके से प्रभुपाद को भगवान बहुत प्रेम करते हैं. Of course, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, "Nacha tasmat manasya sukachit me priyakritam."
Yeah.
So can you please make us understand?
See, in this verse, Bhagavatam purport, I will read of Prabhupada, in the same purport which I was reading from Shivram Maharaj's book, that not only does the Lord enjoy the company of his devotees, but because he is unlimited, he wants to increase his devotees unlimitedly. Thus he descends to the matter world to induce the non-devotees and rebellious living entities to return home back to Godhead. He requests them to surrender unto him because unlimited as he is, he wants to increase his devotees unlimitedly. The Krishna movement is an attempt to increase the number of pure devotees of the Supreme Lord more and more. It is certain that a devotee who helps in this endeavor to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes indirectly a controller of the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada is writing about himself in such a beautiful, so he is saying what? It is certain that a devotee who helps in which endeavor? To increase the number of pure devotees for him, becomes indirectly a controller of the Supreme Lord. Although the Supreme Lord is full in six opulences, he does not feel transcendent bliss without his devotees. So, actually Lord is always eager to express love and experience love. You know? So more the devotees, he can give more love. He is having more desire to express love. And more the devotees love him, that more devotees, then more the merrier. You know? So this is a loving family. And those of the those family members who not only relish the family of Lord, but also want to increase the family of the Lord, they become even more dear to the Lord. Because they are taking the effort to, that is why Madhurya Ras and Audharya Bhav both are very intertwined actually. The great souls who are in the greatest ecstasy of Madhurya Ras, they also like to preach Krishna consciousness. So Srila Prabhupada went from Seva Kunj to the west and preached the message. Those who are staying at Radha Kund, Srila Jananivas Prabhu was saying that if you are in New York City and preaching the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is assisting Radharani at Radha Kund. So that is actually what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada did for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He took all the pains, he took heart attacks. So Lord is monitoring all activities of a devotee, how much struggle he has done for me, for my preaching movement. So Lord becomes very pleased by this endeavor. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. I had not read this part of the purport and you helped me to complete that part along with the question. Okay. I think time is up. Maybe you can ask me personally, Prabhu, because for the pleasure of Vaishnavas to have prasadam.
Can I share one statement which
Yes.
I read today morning? This is by Charlie Chaplin. I am sorry to speak, but you need power only when you want to do something harmful. Otherwise, love is enough to get everything done.
Very well. Yes, love is enough.
This is the statement by Charlie Chaplin, and I was just trying to understand this statement. So you can help me how to become that instrument which, because in between there many instruments are there in person. Thank you. Thank you for showing book of Shivram Maharaj. I have no words to express my gratitude. Hare Krishna.
I am indebted to Maharaj for bringing such a book actually. What can we say about this book? Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.